Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of What If DEKU had AMATERASU. And it's also just, I'm just playing, it's a little bit just like also like, what if you had like, Itachi, Sharingan and whatnot. But, anyways, besides the point. Sorry it took so long, I was a bit busy, but it's back. And just to make sure that, more people get to find out, I can encourage to make more, you get to watch more what ifs, it's a pretty solid deal. All you got to do is like, subscribe, maybe comment too. Let me know what you want to see, if there's any what if ideas. I'm thinking right now we have some cooking right now, some pretty spicy what ifs cooking. So you might want to ring the bell to know when those come out, because they are gonna be spicy. Anyways, hope you enjoy. Welcome to part 2. Anyways. As we continue from the last part, if you remember, I'll give everyone a little catch up since it's been a little bit, but Deku had just got his acceptance letter, and he shared it with his mom, and they had some food, they celebrated because you get into UA, you celebrate. If you don't, man, what's your standards? Because what else you want? Come on. Anyways, Deku, he arrives for his first day at UA. He's here, first day arriving, and he sees other students. We have like Araka, he sees. He walks in to his classroom, and Bakuru's got his feet up, and he just like yelling at him. It's like, you can't do that. And Deku, since he's got the nice, he's been learning about how to sense his surroundings. He realizes the person up front that's just nabbing. This is the teacher. And he walks over to Bakugo and and essentially tells them to calm down because our teacher is about to start class. Aizawa, he gets up and he's somewhat impressed by Deku realizing he was their teacher. But, it's Aizawa. This incredibly minuscule amount of being impressed fades almost immediately. And we get the scene where Aizawa is telling the problem children, it's like, you guys took 30 seconds to calm down. That's not going to be acceptable. If it wasn't for Deku over here, I assume it would have taken even longer. And the students apologize. It's a quick apology from some of them. He does he gets down, is over dramatic, like, I am sorry. And they start asking, it's like, so are we going to orientation? And Aizawa says that they're going to do something more interesting because orientation's boring. The students are whining because, there's a bunch of crybabies. They want to go to orientation, but Aizawa says that they don't have a choice. Fortunately, the classroom isn't very democratic. And they start in a series of physical trials, but Deku's scoring pretty well compared to Kennen, since, original, he only did good on, one of them when he, broke his finger doing it. He's not a whole absurd amount better because, while he does get some physical boosts, activating his Sharingan, it's not insane boosts. It's not like the super strength he had before. So, he's going to have a bit of trouble with that. But I think the flames that burn as hot as the sun will make up for it. Unfortunately, they aren't great for throwing baseballs as far as you can. But, you get that, and the students start saying, oh, it's going to be so fun. And Aizawa just loses it, just turns around, like sicko mode. He's gonna be like, if it's gonna be so fun, then the person with the worst score gets expelled. Deku secures his spot pretty easily, but unfortunately, one student, Mineta, got a trash score, bro. This kid, awful score. Aizawa tells him to go to the office. Unfortunately, our boy had no maidens. The next day, there is no teacher as Aizawa walks out. The students are pretty confused, but all of a sudden, All Might bursts in saying, I am here, walking through the door like a normal person. The students get pretty hyped, the number one hero is here, All Might, and then, they start freaking out. I was like, All Might, I'm your biggest fan. He gets some stuff, he's just like, sign my textbook. All Might tells everyone, calm down, I'm here to teach, not to be a celebrity. You here are the new top heroes and you need to train. And so today we're going to be doing an exercise. And that they're going to do a villain and hero training with the entire class. We're going to go just like Hannah. We got a team of Midoriya with Uraraka, and Bakugo and Ida. Just like canon. Keep it the same. Keep it nice and clean. While many things end up being similar, such as Bakugo refusing to really work with Ida because his ego was bigger than the Earth, we get some differences. This time Deku, he doesn't have like a whole he gets to rely more on his powers because he can actually use them without breaking his limbs. And so him and Araka come up with a plan. And as the students are watching, they suddenly see Deku and Uraraka run off as Deku suddenly sets the floor on fire and then breaks it, jumping down. As the floor just starts melting from the intense heat. Deku drops down, but Uraraka stays. You guys see how this is going to go. Bakugo, he's immediately pissed. He's like, oh, this kid's already here, this damned nerd, Bakugo likes Deku even less because he feels he has an inferiority problem with him. Like he feels so much more inferior, and he hates the crimson eyes that he has that just seem to stare through him. But this is kind of fueled Bakugo. In this series, Bakugo's trained more than he did in canon. He's actually more powerful due to the fact that he actually feels like he has to compete with someone. And while he's not powerful enough to make a whole ton of a difference in this battle, you'll see it play out later. Him and Ida are focused on Izuku because, the man just broke the ceiling and jumped down. And as, Deku starts, distracting them, making walls of Amaterasu, blocking them off, you get Bakugo, you damn nerd! He angry. He very angry. And he starts, throwing explosions, Deku, just barely dodging them, when not with Ida running at him. He immediately stops and wonders why, as suddenly they turn around and see that Uraraka has grabbed the bomb and floating into the air, winning the fight. Bakugo immediately yells at Deku, saying he won't lose to him again, and he isn't scared of those stupid scarlet eyes anymore. He leaves, blowing up the wall, just jumping down. All Might attempts to give the boys a short quip, how they need to remember there's not only one opponent in a fight, and you can't guarantee that, having all your focus on one person's going to end well for you. Bakugo doesn't stop for a second to hear it. He's very pissed. He kind of just walks off. He is unfortunately not super happy about the whole arrangement that just went down. Now he gets some other fights. I'm gonna skim over them. You really don't need to hear them again. They aren't gonna be changing from canon. Same teams win and whatnot. So you get them watching Deku's kind of studying his teammates, seeing the quirks they have. It's pretty interesting in some of them, and you realize that one of them, a specific naval laser, almost seems like it doesn't belong to the person who uses it. But he puts it in the back of his head, even though his judgment that he's got kind of tells him, he should really focus on that. But, it gets the best of him. And after this, we have the, probably a bit of class time. But after this, we have the USJ arc. And this is going to be interesting, with the USJ. And now what we're going to get is the students, they're heading off to the USJ, and they arrive. We get 13, giving them their whole thing about being heroes and how they're going to train here. And, all the stuff about how USJ, how there's a whole bunch of different places to train, and how they're going to, need this to become the best heroes. And all of a sudden, a portal opens up. Deku immediately turns around and realizes, he felt the presence immediately. He was alarmed. And when villains start appearing and they start getting teleported places, he almost dodges the portal that pulls him away, but it rips him away. Just in the nick of time for the villains, because Deku was about to not get hit by that, and he was about to lay some smack down, but, he's away. And now as he falls into the water, we get him stuck, same thing, all on the water, and he pretty quickly gets his way out with the help of Tsuyu. But he realizes that, while his fire will be useful, it's not going to be as useful in the water. It's not like it can't still burn, but it just won't be as useful as it would be on land. It's a more mobile terrain. If he lights the surface on fire, what stops him from going under? Anyways, But to see the rest of this USJ arc, and I'm sorry to cut it short here, this part, I understand. But if you come back tomorrow, I'm telling you, next part's going to be out, part 3. I'm sorry splitting this is a whole bunch of different parts, but, you know, I'm trying to keep it like a 1 to 2 arcs per vid, and, you know, that, I understand this one wasn't the longest, but your boy's busy, and, you know, we started the USJ, but to see the finish, you know, find out next time, nerds. No. Be sure to like, sub, ring the bell if you want to see, you know, when we hear when the next one comes out. And I'll be seeing y'all in the next one when we get the conclusion and the Nobu appearing and everything, leading into the next arc. See y'all.